Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using Paper Rose Studios' Portraits in Bloom collection. This is a beautiful collection, very colorful, and it has sort of a mixed media look to it. There are two paper pads. I'll be using the 6x6 size, but both are also available in 12x12. And if you are interested, I do have links in the description box for the products I'm using in this video. I'll show the two paper pads first. The first one's called Portraits in Bloom. There are 18 double-sided pattern papers. Several of the sheets include cut-apart images and sentiments. If you don't care for the cut-aparts, you can always use the design on the back side. I like that the sentiments that are included are perfect to use throughout the year. There's birthday, thinking of you, thank you. So there's a look at the 12 different designs, and the last 6 papers repeat. The other paper collection is called Portraits in Bloom Basics. Now you can use either collection on its own, or you can use both and mix and match them together, and that's what I like to do. Sometimes the basic collection includes more tone-on-tone or muted designs. With the Portraits in Bloom, you don't get as many of the tone-on-tone, but there are 12 different patterns, and I love the different colors and designs. They have that very distressed mixed media look to them. I have 2 of the Embossed die cut packs, Portraits in Bloom and Portraits in Bloom tags and tickets. The collection also has a cut-apart pack. I don't have it, but if you want to check it out and the other items that are part of the collection, I will put a link to the full Portraits in Bloom collection in the description box. I'm showing the Portraits in Bloom Embossed die cut pack first. There are 4 sheets of 6x8 embossed pop-out die cuts, so no fussy cutting required, and every single image and sentiment has this beautiful glossy embossed detail. Next up is the Portraits in Bloom's tags and tickets embossed die cuts, and this one also has the 4 sheets of 6x8 embossed pop-out die cuts. Beautiful images, and several of the tags and tickets also have a sentiment on them. The final 2 products I have from this collection are the Quick Cards collection and the Quick Cards die cut pack. Now the Quick Cards die cut sheets are exactly the same that's included in the Quick Cards collection. So if you just want those images and sentiments, you can buy that separately. Or if you want duplicates, you could get both. I love making multiples of the same card, so I really enjoy having both. But since they are the same embossed die cuts, I'm only showing the Quick Cards collection. First up is an inspiration sheet, and it shows 6 different card sample ideas. So you already have some inspiration when using the Quick Cards collection. Next, I'll show you the 4 embossed die cut sheets, and there are tons of sentiments, perfect sentiments to use throughout the year, just for you, thinking of you, birthday, and more. The Quick Cards collection also includes a ton of pattern paper. There are 18 double-sided 6x8 pattern paper sheets. On one side, it has the look of another pattern paper layered on cardstock, but this is all one sheet. I like to cut the sheets down to 4 inches by 5¼ inches, and that way you can get 2 backgrounds from one sheet of paper. And if you don't care for the design on the one side, you can always flip it over and use the pattern on the back side. So there's a look at the new Portraits in Bloom collection, and I'll be using all the products for my cards. And I have 5 different card designs to share with you. For card design number 1, I'm using some pattern paper from the Quick Cards collection. I cut it down to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Now the other side of this pattern paper had the pre-printed stripe paper. I'm using the side that doesn't have it, but I will add that strip separately. And the stripe piece is 1 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 of an inch. Now, instead of layering the stripe paper on cardstock, I'm adding a Love from Lizzie peel off on the right and left side. This is the pinstripe style in black. I will be covering up the center with an image and sentiment, so I don't need the peel off strips to go all the way across. I was able to use some scrap pieces, but I ran out on this first sheet, so I did need to grab another sheet. I like to cut the peel-offs just a little bit longer than the pattern paper piece. I'll simply wrap the end around the back. Now I'll put ATG tape on the back and layer this piece on black cardstock. And the black cardstock layer is 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. Across the card, I'm also adding this black tone-on-tone with some orange foliage. It's like this really dark, deep orange color. And that pattern paper piece is 4 inches by 1 1/4 of an inch. And I'm adhering it about 1 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom edge of the pattern paper. For an image, I selected this gold frame. Has a bird and some beautiful flowers. I did pop it up using some 1mm black foam. I'll remove the release paper, add the image on the card, and once I add the large image, I'm covering up the areas where I don't have the peel-offs. And for a sentiment, I selected Hello Friend. On the bottom half of the sentiment, I did put more foam dimension, and behind the rest of it, I have some clear double-sided adhesive tape. I'll remove the release paper and adhere the sentiment at the very bottom of the frame, and I'm trying to get it centered on that teal and white stripe strip. For a little extra detail in the upper left-hand corner, I'll be adding a small banner, and I cut this out from black cardstock. The cardstock piece is 5/8 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. I'll cut a fishtail on the bottom, put glue on the back, and adhere it in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm adding it just a little under 1/4 of an inch from the left side. After cutting the 2 background panels, I ended up with this narrow strip. And I cut it in half so I could add it on the inside of the card just for a little extra detail. For embellishments, I'm using more Love from Lizzie peel-offs, this time the mini circle style in gold. I'll put 2 on the banner in the upper left-hand corner and 3 in the lower right-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and I did make 4 using this design. For the first 2, I used the same images and sentiments. And for the other 2 cards, these feature the left side of the pattern paper, so that stripe in the middle is printed right on it. I added a floral image and happy birthday for the sentiment. For card design number 2, I am using a card sketch for inspiration. This sketch is from Cards TV. It's sketch number 87. And if you're interested in any of the sketches I use in this video, I share all that information on my coordinating blog post. The link is in the description box below, or you can simply head over to KristieMarcotte.com. For the background of my card, I selected this lovely pattern paper. It has yellows, greens, and black, and sort of a chevron design printed on it. I'll layer that piece on black cardstock. Black cardstock works really well with this collection, adds some nice contrast with all the beautiful colors. I'll add that piece on some teal cardstock, and this is just from my stash. Then I'll layer this teal on black cardstock, and once again on some white shimmer cardstock. And that white shimmer cardstock is A2 size. This is the first time I tried this card sketch, and I love all the layers. Now I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. To go along with the oval element on the card sketch, I selected an oval frame. There's a lovely bouquet of flowers with birds and a butterfly. For a sentiment, I selected Thinking of You, and I will pop up both of the embossed die cut pieces using more 1mm foam. I'll add the image on the right side and the sentiment in the lower left-hand corner. For a little extra detail in the upper left-hand corner, I'm adding one of the tag pieces. This is an embossed die cut. We'll put glue on the back, adhere it in place, and I have just that top edge of the banner going over the pattern paper piece. So there is my finished card, and I did make 4 using this design. I used 2 different sets of pattern paper, and all 4 cards feature different images and sentiments. For the second set of cards, I went with a black, white, and gray background and added that pop of color with the rose and frame of the sentiment. Now moving on to card design number 3. The sketch is from Cards TV. It's sketch number 58. For the background of my card, I selected this lovely gray, black, and purple design, and I believe this is from the Portraits in Bloom Basics paper pad. I cut that piece to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Now before adding this strip on the left side, I decided to add some Love from Lizzie peel-offs across this panel. And I want to make sure to get those strips on nice and straight, so I am using the grid lines on my craft mat. This is the black color in pinstripe, and I selected the medium width. I will be covering up the left and center area, so I don't have to worry about those peel-offs going all the way across. I layered the background on black cardstock, and that piece is 4 1/8 inch by 5 3/8 inch. And now I'll add the narrow strip on the left side, the purple and light gray. Put more adhesive on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 inch of the white card base showing. For this card, I'll be using one of the cut-aparts. This lovely floral design in gray, white, and black, and it has the sentiment, Sending Lots of Love. I did layer the cut-apart on black cardstock, and before adhering it down, I'll put a scrap piece of cardstock on the right side, just in the area where it goes off of the stripe paper, and that'll help it stay at the same level. I'll put glue on the back and adhere the cut-apart in place. And I am changing up the card sketch just a little bit. There's that circle element, and I decided to leave that off. For embellishments, I'm using more Love from Lizzie peel-offs, the mini circle style in black. I'm using the medium-sized circles. I'll put 3 in the upper right-hand corner and 2 in the lower left-hand corner. And I didn't get those 3 in the right-hand corner very straight. Luckily, they do peel off easily, so I can reposition them. So there is my finished card, and I did make 4 using this design. The first 2 cards feature the same pattern paper and cut-aparts. The second 2 cards feature different pattern paper and a different cut-apart with the sentiment, Hope your day is as wonderful as you are. Now moving on to card design number 4. The card sketch is from Cards TV. This is sketch number 86. This is a really fun card sketch. It has the 2 diagonal pieces, so perfect for featuring 2 pattern papers. I selected this teal and white stripe paper for the top. For some of the cards, it will be on the bottom. But for this card, it'll be the black and light gray decorative design. I'll add both of those on the black cardstock layer. Put adhesive on the back, then layer it again on some teal cardstock, and that piece is A2 size. I'll add more adhesive and put my card front onto a card base. I love this color combination, so fun. In the upper left-hand corner, there's the circle element on the sketch. I'll be adding a square with rounded corners. This is another embossed die cut image. It has a frame that matches that pattern paper on the bottom, and then a little postage stamp inside it with an owl and trees. Now, to help it stand out a little more against the stripe paper, I'm adding a strip of black cardstock behind it. And that cardstock strip is 1 3/4 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. I did pop up the embossed die cut and then adhered it on the black cardstock piece. For a sentiment, I selected Thinking of You. Behind the sentiment, I'm adding a stitched heart die cut, and I cut this out from vellum. The heart dies are from Paper Rose. I also popped up the sentiment using more foam dimension. I'll adhere the heart behind it, then put glue on the back, making sure none of the glue is visible on the vellum heart. For a final finishing touch, using more Love from Lizzie peel-offs, the mini circles in black. I'll put 3 of the largest size circles in the upper right-hand corner, doing a vertical line, and 2 medium circles in the lower left-hand corner, also stacking those vertically. So there is my finished card, and I did make 4 using this design. The second 2 cards feature the same pattern paper, but they're just reversed. That way I wasn't wasting any of the diagonal cut paper. For the image in the upper left-hand corner on the second set of cards, it's a little postage stamp with 5 cents and the word bloom. Now moving on to card design number 5, and this is my final card design. The pattern paper I'm using for the background is from the Quick Cards collection. I believe this is the left side of the paper. I love this beautiful floral image in the upper left-hand corner. I cut that panel to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'll layer it on black cardstock, and that piece is 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. In the lower right-hand corner, I'll be adding an arched tag. And for a little extra detail behind it on the left side, I'm adding a light purple stitched circle die cut. You'll just see part of it. To go along with that more distressed background, I'll first ink the edge using some black ink, and I'm just using what's left over on my blending brush. Now I'll put adhesive on the back of the tag, just the left side, and attach that half circle. Put glue on the back and adhere these in the lower right-hand corner. Next, I'll add 3 embossed die cut pieces, 2 images of butterflies, and the sentiment, sending lots of love. And I did pop up all of these with some 1mm foam. I'll add the sentiment in the lower right-hand corner of the tag, then the 2 butterflies, the larger one right above the sentiment and the smaller one on the left side. Decided to keep this card very simple since I didn't want to cover up that beautiful floral image. So there is my finished card. I did make 4 using this design. The other 2 cards feature the right side of the pattern paper. I use different embossed die cut images and sentiments. And since this pattern paper doesn't have that large floral image, in the upper left-hand corner, I added the green and white striped banner. For the circle die cut I put behind the image, I used some vellum. Now here's another look at the 20 cards I made using Paper Rose Studios Portraits in Bloom collection. I use both of the 6x6 paper pad, 2 of the embossed die cut packs, plus the Quick Cards collection and coordinating Quick Card die cut pack. This is a beautiful collection. I love the colors and fun designs. Perfect for summertime, or you could use it anytime throughout the year. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.